Hello, we are live. I had some client stuff to deliver today, so I'm on a bit late. Very late, in fact. I'm trying to think what we should do today, because I've only got, about 2.5 hours to get some stuff done. And today is also deadlift day. I'm gonna get some time in that. Hello, hi from Chino. Welcome, Chemo. Switch the screen over. I don't know what's been up with X lately, but we are at 24K, which is pretty cool. So we still have many things to do left on Puffer 4. I'm trying to think if I want to do the Vec backend right now, if that's the best idea. I guess the candidates are we either work on like supporting all the different games at the same time, or we work on vectorization, or we work on the perf. I think the only thing that makes sense to me is the vectorization. I'm just trying to think how bad that's gonna be. Presumably, if I just want to multi-thread it, I think it's not bad at all. The buffering and loading and stuff, I think, is harder. What if we just try to get it multi-threaded today and nothing else? Is that reasonable? I think that's like a reasonably sized task. But I kind of want to plan this out with respect to the rest of the week. So tomorrow is going to be, I've got tomorrow and I've got, wait, is today Wednesday or Thursday? Date of today. It is Wednesday. Okay. So then I have Thursday and Friday. So let me think. Because I kind of tend to plan things around leaving a big chunk of work for Saturday, but having it try to be like one type of big chunk of work. If I could, by the end of the day Saturday, have what done, would I be happy? If I could have PufferLib, multi-threaded, not double buffered, stable on multiple environments, I think that would be ideal. I think I'd be happy with that, right? I think I can do more than that as well. Let's also throw in, because once stable, then I can do perf optim, right? Let's throw in perf optim with that as well for Saturday. Yeah, so I think then today we'll just do multi-threading. Yeah, today we'll do multi-threading. Oops, I need to go look at this PR. We have a PR for it as well that I can look at. It doesn't look too terrible, right? Hello, welcome. Okay. I think then the best thing for me to do is we'll start pouring this in. Let me get my first deadlift set in for today because I'm on late. I need to get 3 sets in today. So let's do that, and then I will start working on. I think we're just gonna see if I can split up the ends across multiple threads, and that's it. And then sync. Yeah. Just so we have like some basic back end in, and then from there it'll be easier to do the fancier one. Oh yeah, actually that's probably not that bad at all. That's like probably pretty easy. Okay. I'll be back. Five's not happening today. We will we'll settle for 4. Oops, let me wash this chalk off. Welcome, Pran. It's a member-only gym. They send out invitations on Gold Leaf if you're a jacked scientist. Nah, that shit's heavy. I'm like super weak last few days. I've just been doing too much work. I've had like extra client stuff to do in the evenings the last several days. I really just have not gotten much time to relax at all. It's basically just been constant work. And that means worse sleep and worse recovery. So the exercise has taken about I'm gonna say 15% effort hit. Still, that's a 375 for 4. Wanted to get 3 sets of 5 in today, but we'll settle for 3 to 4 sets of 4. All right, so I'm thinking we can basically just add this thing in. Thread data. What is atomic int? Thread safe int? You gotta remember, like, there's all sorts of stuff even that's pretty basic that I just haven't done. Because, like, so much Python. Hey, Peru. Okay, so they just have an atomic variable. I didn't realize that C just has that. That's, like, cool. Cool, C. Very cool. If you're not a bot, type pufferfish in the chat, Rosie. Um... Okay, where was the threaded... Quick BG. Oh, I had worker queues and stuff, was too complicated. Atomic int. Voided locks. Yeah, we don't need complicated crap. Where's this thing get created? So this is C thread step. Okay, FBR, you troll. Yeah. Ah, okay, here it is. You just added this here. Hey, Jen, welcome. Very beautiful drone rewrite is inbound shortly. Oh, why, thank you. That sounds fun. Hey, Sam, long time no see. And that is a bot. We get rid of the bot. I know it seems like a bot conversation. Doesn't type pufferfish. Literally anticipates, is that a bot? Hello, Finn. Sim to Real's getting there as well. I'm glad that there's progress. It'll be cool. And of course, you'll have Puffer 4 to play with by summer, if not Puffer 5 by then. Puffer 4, Puffer 5. Okay, February, March, April, May. You might have Puffer 5 by then, we'll see. You might have Puffer 5. I'm trying for 6-month release cycle, man. I'm kicking my ass doing this. I'm literally on a farm in the middle of nowhere, and I've still managed to work so much I've burnt myself out pretty bad. I'm gonna take some extra time off, well, realistically, I have no idea when. Maybe I'll do, maybe, well, Sunday, yeah. Maybe I'll take Monday, we'll see. Depends how things are going. Good. I want the updates to be like, I don't want them to be updates to PufferLib, right? I want the updates, the major version updates to PufferLib to be updates to the field of RL. So if I can crank 2 of those a year, I'm pretty happy. Next unicorn. Any stupid idea in SF that like the VCs are currently on about. I don't know. Unicorns are kind of lame. Eval forward. Wait, eval forward LSTM plus step inside C. Wait. Most of evaluate. Are you doing the network itself in C? Like the torch net? Wait. Eh? Oh, well, yeah, that's what I'm doing already, Peru. That's in Puffer 4. Well, I can show you, right? It's just this. You put the obs on the device, you call forward, you sample some logits, and here you're vex stepping your env in C++. Search-based chess bot. 45% win and draw against 2,800. If you have something that integrates with Jess's work to like, if you have something that's like clean and integrates for testing, that would be nice. I don't know what Jess is doing for benchmarks. Might just be using Stockfish directly, I don't know. See vex step directly. Well, there is not. Yeah, that's where it will be. Hello, Jess. Here we are. What are you charging an hour as a dev? I don't charge per hour, Jan. I charge per project. How's gym going? 4 reps of 375 about, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. 15, 20 minutes ago. It's going alright enough. Been pretty tired this week. I've had a lot of work to do. What are you, Discord? Working on the... Oh, yeah. BR, cool. On. Just P thread T. Leave this for now. P thread cond init. What's this? Okay, I have to understand what the heck this is all doing. But first of all, so pthread cond. Condition variable to single threads. Thing. Okay. Why do you do like this? Can't I just do dot? Oh, it needs an address, doesn't it? No, wait. Yeah, this needs an address. I'm dummy. Yeah. Wake up, you have some work. Story of my life. No new line curly bracers. Not allowed. And no golfing. Oh. That's funny. I see what you did. Okay, so this is initialize some threads, yes. How are you doing? What am I doing today? I was busy doing some client work earlier, and now I'm working on integrating Peru's vector thread backend into PRC. Trying to think if there's any cool stuff. I mean, I guess I technically do have some cool stuff to post, but I guess you'll get the early preview of it. Yeah, so this is Mingru, and then this is single GPU Mingru, which is super slow, but even the multi-GPU one with no retuning of hypers, exact same number of parameters, it seems to be matching or doing a little bit better so far. This is still going to take like another couple days to run, but you know, if this thing matches or beats this, then we're basically completely confident that the new architecture is solid, which is awesome. Steps. Yeah, this is just like a you know, small number, like a 650 billion steps or something. Observations. No biggie. Neural MMO 3. The big end. The big one. You know. How long does it take? It depends, because we've actually gotten it to be quicker now, but like the normal old baseline was 5 billion steps for it to start learning anything. Okay, I have to understand what this thing is doing. I probably need to go get my coffee as well. Yeah. Neural MMO is hard. That's signals all threads to wake up, starting naturally. Variable work index signals all threads to wake up. What is the work index? Is each env handling one? It looks like each thread is handling one step. Right? I'm in middle of a league game. Another benefit of Linux is you can't download League. I'm confused as to how... Is this running in the thread? C thread step. I'm confused because this is C thread step here. So I don't understand how this works because C vex step is called from the main thread, but I see right here, it looks like it's calling C step repeatedly, right? Which should be the blocking call. He wasn't lying, he's playing League. uh... I'm reusing the main thread. Shouldn't the... Wait. But your number of threads aren't tied to your number of cores. Shouldn't they get moved onto the right cores anyways? Hmm. Because I think the main thread is going to have something else to do. Let me see then, where did you put... Then wait, where the heck are the rest of these things getting... produce work. Wait, why do you have a mutex and you have busy waiting? Or wait, is this not busy waiting? Okay, cool. I saw this and I thought it was busy waiting. That's fine. The multiprocessing implementation in Python has to busy wait, funny enough. Isn't that like the terrible like trash library? Once all threads are woken up, they busy loop without waiting. Just a single work index. But aren't they all fighting over that frickin' index, dude? That's not a mutex though, right? That's a condition variable. Hang on, what's the type of that thing? Platform atomic int. Got it. Try something. You have 16 threads. Waiting. Decrement. This stuff actually matters, believe it or not. Yeah, this is what I thought. So I think Peru, I think your implementation is almost good. I think that the one thing that's missing, I think that you need to have it go over. It needs to decrement by more than one. So each time a thread acquires, it needs to be able to grab more than one environment instance. Because like you don't want to have basically this should be a no op, right? This is basically a no op. Like I don't want a no op to already be in the 30 to 100 million like step per second range, right? Like this is actually already slower than single threaded Pong, for instance. Well, it's very close. I think it's just that you want to be able to assign larger chunks of work at a time. This is way, way better than in Python, because in Python, the overhead is just so stupidly high that you can't even really do this. But I think you can do this in C. You just have to give slightly larger blocks of work. Yeah. And you'll be good. Yeah, this is very close. This is very close indeed. It's not close to X++, right? How on earth would it be? How on earth would it be close to X++? That's going to be billions. Why is this a void star as well? Oh, it has to be? It probably has to be. Otherwise. What does this return? Atomic load. Okay, yeah, this one I don't want. Um, yeah, there's got to be a better way to do this, right? Yeah, exactly. That'll spin an entire core, Peru. Right, that'll just steal a full core. Yeah, but that's a really dumb patch. Because I'm gonna want to do other stuff with that thread, man. Like, what's gonna actually happen is when I double buffer this thing, that thread is gonna be responsible for detecting when a chunk of ends are done, and for, like, calling .CUDA on that data, basically. Yeah, this is going in Puffer 4, Jess, right now. That's what I'm doing. I promised him it would go in and that it was just going to take me a while to get to it, and so here you go, right? I was going to have to do it anyways, and he saved me a bunch of time. Jess, I don't want to ship it until we get 10 mil. I know what needs to be done at this point. It's mostly a matter of, like, it's just a ton of work, and I need to balance it better. Lighting looks softer today. Yeah, it's the autofocus because it's, like, super cloudy out and overcast today. I am sitting directly. This is probably not the best spot for a camera. I'm directly in front of a, like, 4 by 6 foot window. So, and then I have another one there, and another one there, and another one there. I'm pretty much surrounded by 4 by 6 foot windows. Two sides at least. So not surrounded at all, but whatever. Mm. We already have this, don't we? So we can just do... We have a weight condition. See? All done. Yeah. Welcome to America. It's a good country, sir. Spot. Oh yeah, there are quite a few people on YouTube now. Hello everybody. I have not done threading in native C before. I've done a heck of a lot of multiprocessing and optimization in Python, which is basically the same as C but harder. So I'm currently attempting to figure this out based on a thing that Peru wrote, and I'm making some small modifications. The goal is to have very high throughput and simple vectorization, so multi-threading backend for all of our reinforcement learning ends. And I'm also stalling because I got to do my second deadlift set, and I'm exhausted. So this is what I'm doing today. LLM for env binding? Nope. Oh, is LLM for env binding this? This is me doing fuzzy docs, basically, just trying to figure out how to use mutexes. See you, Peru. Have to unlock. I guess this is not bad, though, because this only happens at the end, right? Then we'll do something like... do. Something like this, right? When and why do we use and need RLMs in the real world? So, at the moment, there are like a few areas where they're used. Robotics is the very obvious one. There's some logistics, and then there are like some random problems. Data center cooling, there's like logistics, there's stuff in finance. So it's like spread around. But within a couple of years, right, if I continue to work on this and I make RL as good as I think I will have it, then pretty much anywhere you use simulators, not exactly everywhere, but a lot of the places that you use simulators in the real world, because you just make simulation a way more powerful tool in general with RL, because you unlock intelligent simulation basically. Instead of saying like, hey, I'm going to run a sim to see what happens, you get to say, hey, I'm going to run a sim to see how I can get to an objective that I care about. So I say, this is what I want to have happen in the sim, and the RL figures out how to do it. So very powerful toolkit. And it's very funny because, like, you know, we use games a lot in research, but then, like, every single time I'll just take the algorithm that I've developed by training on various different games, and it'll just crush all sorts of real world applications out of the box. Like, yeah, games are just harder than your trading environment, your whatever the heck, your control environment or logistics. We've done a whole bunch of stuff lately. And yeah, games are just harder. So it turns out the games are very useful. And I think I like this as the basis. I'm gonna have to actually make this work. Anish, have you seen my, I don't know if you're new here, if you've seen my thesis though. Oops. Yeah, okay, here's a 170-page PhD thesis in which I spent like 5 years of PhD plus 2 years before that building MMO-inspired environments and doing tons and tons of engineering and research on how do we make this stuff work. Yeah. So pretty much exactly that. Let me get my deadlift set in. I gotta do it at some point. And I got 2 more, so I may as well get started. Soda AI by playing games. Meet your Iron Man? Not yet. Not yet. Soon. I also do some pretty decent endurance running. Yeah, pretty much all of the soda reinforcement learning came from games as well. Is kind of the funny part. Okay, so let's see if we can actually... I actually feel more awake from that already. Let's see if I can get this thing to run. Compile first and then run. Average pulse rate? Well, it's gonna be shit now, I'm sure, after that, but... It's not great. But it's genetic. Or maybe it's not genetic, honestly. It might just be stress, who the hell knows. It was low 70s last I checked. And before I started running, so when I could deadlift 4 plates, but before I started running, I had like 83 resting. Yeah, it just goes to like 80. Minimum in the last 12 hours. Yeah, that's kind of not great considering that includes sleeping is minimum 76. But hey, it's been a stressful week, so 57, yeah, good for you. I run 5 days a week. Heck, even when I was doing like 45 miles a week, the lowest it would ever get would be like low 70s. For resting. Nah, man, I did all of my like not sleeping for a lifetime when I was younger. Now I sleep best I can. Yeah, it's terrible, man. I didn't do undergrad at MIT though. I did MIT grad. I did Stanford undergrad. I think I worked like 90-hour weeks maybe my freshman year. But then I didn't think I did 90 most of the time after that. I think I had like 80-ish maybe for the first chunk of my sophomore year. And then I think it was like mostly 70 after that. Thickness, cardiac volume, average stroke volume. Well, I mean, what am I supposed to do? So I've run, in the last couple of years, I've run 2 marathons and a 50K. I've probably logged like over 2,000 miles of training at this point. I do a bunch of powerlifting, some bodybuilder style training. I've been doing like a bunch of dedicated flexibility work lately. I got a pretty damn good diet. Doing pretty much everything I can do on that front. But of course, I also have the self-imposed mantra of trying to solo a scientific field, so no pressure. How do I get Puffer to compile an end with which is many.c and .h files? Well, you're gonna have to modify the setup to include them, right? If you just have many.h files, you don't have to modify the setup. If you have many.c files, you're gonna have to modify the compile command. There's a reason that we don't split stuff up, Sam. Wait, I hope the drone refactor is not splitting it into a million files. Without the 20s. That was not the super grind on ish. That was the like actually kind of reasonable amount of work. The super grind was getting to undergrad, in which I worked probably average of 110 hours a week from ages 15 or 16 to 18. So actually undergrad was like not that much work by comparison afterwards. Where do I find the compile commands? In pure C, it's scripts build ocean. And for the Python one, it's the setup.py. And you're not gonna find the full compile command. You just have to add the like extra .c source files and the build extensions, because it just is it's looking for one C file that matches the name of your environment, so you'd have to add them there. Though, yeah, those are not. They're no entrance exams, Roger. That's not how it works. That would be a lot easier in some sense, because then you just know if you get the score on the test, you're good. Instead, it's just the, the Illuminati's there saying, amuse us with your efforts, and maybe we will allow you to attend a university where education is not complete in other shit, and is only complete in other shit about 2/3 of the time. That's literally how it works. Separated rendering and tasks. Okay, cool. Combined the two M's back into one. That is acceptable, because we already had, like, the drone lib thing. That is good. 2 files is allowed. But, Sam, if you want to avoid compiler headaches, just, like, make the file that they both use, just make it a .h. Just put the stuff in a .h, and then you can just include it directly. And not have to deal with, like, you don't have to mess with the compile commands that way. It'll be way better. Hierarchical RL doesn't work. DeepMind and OpenAI. OpenAI didn't really try, honestly. It was mostly DeepMind getting nerd sniped. There may be a couple ideas in there that have some merit, but I would say that it was generally, like, not super promising. Percentage of Ivy grads that family members attend as well. Nobody in my direct ancestry, I don't think. No, nobody in my direct ancestry. As far as the academics go, I have that basis covered. I mean, not to say I wasn't prepped like hell, but I put in the work. Actually, one of the most depressing things was, like, getting to Stanford and realizing that, like, the vast majority of the people there had just gotten lucky and had not put in any work and were actually incredibly stupid and unmotivated. That was kind of a slap in the face. I took some MBA classes while I was at MIT. Holy hell. You want to talk about a bunch of morons? Oof. No, thank you. I think I will go back to the lazy and unmotivated STEM people at the very least. Heck. Model-based RL is the better version of hierarchical RL. Okay, if you think about that for literally 5 seconds, like, you'll notice it makes absolutely no sense, dude. Please, go ahead and think about that for literally 5 seconds, and if you still think it makes sense, please explain to me why that sentence should exist. Okay, this works. So all I need here is then we call create environments with threads now. So we call create environments with threads. And that's it, I think. Heh. Well, I mean, I don't know. The thing on Ish is, like, I mostly care about people who are, like, smart enough to actually get stuff done and motivated enough to actually want to try to aim high and, like, actually continuously put in the work. Like, my favorite people in the field are mostly not from, like, similar backgrounds to myself. And there are a bunch of people from, like, random places for the most part who just, like, actually gave a shit and did something out of left field. Of course, I was like that for a while in my younger years, and I didn't have the talent to back it up, but you do that for enough years, and you get the talent to back it up. HRL not just searching for long-term horizons. Instead of building actions, it's building worlds. Model-based RL not just searching for long-term horizons. No, like, not remotely. Searching long-term horizons. Like, no. I'll believe the model-based RL stuff when somebody produces, like, a version of it that is not just complete bullshit. Until then, it's just, like, a nerd snipe idea. Model-based RL is doing supervised next state or next latent or next frame prediction, and then doing RL on the rollouts of those hallucinated next states. So it is doing next state prediction and then doing perfectly on policy RL on those hallucinated next states or obs or whatever, depending on the version. Is this not standard atomic? I have standard atomic, don't I? Ah, I see. Weird error. Yeah. But like model-based RL is the super trendy thing. Trendy things don't actually have to work. Okay, this is literally the only error left somehow. Hmm. Avoid object-oriented functional programming. What paradigm should one start with? Write the code as simply as possible in one file, top to bottom, without attempting to like do stuff in adherence to a specific ideology. For simple environments, model-based RL makes no sense. Things like autonomous driving, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, this is the best open source autonomous driving sim available. We did this this port in partnership with NYU. Multiple companies are using it. It trains at I think latest is like 800,000 steps per second on one GPU. Good luck doing that with model-based RL. Create a world model. Yeah, good luck with that. I actually think that particular version makes no sense because you're essentially, if you're going to use that model to do RL and you're not actually like, if you were going to do model-based RL, the version of it that makes sense is at least having a simulator in the loop. If you're going to just go collect a big data set to build a world model, then you are literally just like training, you're just training your agent to poke holes in it. No, Matt, because this is C, not C++. Basic MLP backprop. No. What? Object-oriented programming to understand backprop. No. Okay, if that's the case, then how the heck am I writing backprop in CUDA? Like, what? No. Under functions, those don't even that's a Python thing. Those don't even exist. You can go write yourself an autograd in C in like the same amount of code it would be in Python with just like functions and structs. Actually, from that statement, you should absolutely start writing some C environments. You will see your entire view of programming change immediately to something that is much more enjoyable. It's weird, though, because this is... I'm compiling this as a C DLL. I have it compiling, Yeah, my guy, you need to just, like, start writing here. This doesn't have a backward pass, but I could easily add a backward pass to this. Alright, this is basically Torch. Not really, it's super unoptimized, but look. These are just functions that define the forward passes of stuff. Alright, and you can just call the forward function and call the backward function. Doesn't include complexities. Simpler to use the available data. Okay, but like, what do you do with that world model? You do nothing. You're gonna RL the world model, so you're just gonna poke holes in it. You don't actually train a policy out of that. And you don't have to card code all the scenarios, like, you can just put some cars in maps and have them drive around a bunch. And most of the edge cases are emergent. Like, this is working now, and we get good policies on one GPU. And again, actual driving companies are using this. And yes, it is not, it's way more simplified than it could be, but the point is that the amount of data this saves you, right? The amount of, like, real-world data that you don't have to have because you have this is massive. My brain implementing basic micrograd in C. Honestly, Anish, don't try to do autograd. Just implement the forward and the backward, and then don't think about the graph stuff. It shouldn't be defined in the files. I don't know what I did. It's not here. Like, the thing I don't understand, so this is getting compiled as a DLL. Okay, this is a C DLL. And it should be included from this. And then, like, when I compile this... So this includes vecm, so this should have access to atomic int. And then when I compile this, this works fine. But then when I compile the torch extension... Actually, what... Hang on. Maybe this is getting included by mistake. All-nighters freshman college. Oh man, I did so many of those. Puh. I remember that I missed lunch with Andrew Ng because I was doing some stuff around his lab, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have lunch with the people in my lab today," but he sent the message in like early in the morning or something, and I was just asleep until the afternoon because I'd been up till 4 a.m. working on research. Whoops. Well, this gets included here, right? Because this needs this def. Well, I did get my first paper out of it, so probably. Ugh, gross C++ bullshit. Yeah, I need to just figure out what's the name of the type that I can use? Comic load. Oh, I see. This is so gross though, man. Why? I hate C++. I hate C++ so much. It's such a bullshit language. That seems like it runs. I don't get any metrics back though, which is probably bad. Tesla. Yeah, so Tesla has unlimited freaking data already. I don't know how they use it. I don't know if they're doing world model stuff, man, or if they're just doing straight like IL. World model. That's not how that works though, dude. Yeah, that's not how world models work. At least not normal usage. It's great if you want to write a depression simulator on Ish. World record speedrun depression any percent. Alright, let's figure out why this thing is not logging. So, Hype, the reason I'm so negative on world models is because I've done pretty extensive work on the Dreamer line, and it's like bullshit. It's total bullshit. It doesn't remotely work as presented or for the reasons presented. So, like, basically, the main piece of evidence behind this whole line is just, like, absolutely horrible science. And I've already spent, like, hundreds of hours figuring that out. So yeah, I get annoyed with them. It's like, oh yeah, look, we could just use world models for everything. When I know based on research that like they're nowhere near as presented normally, right? So essentially, they go back from being like this, like oh, super amazing thing, to just like a clever sounding idea that maybe works, maybe doesn't. But it's certainly not the second coming of Christ or anything. And so somehow I broke it. certain old Frenchman. Certain old French. What? Why does you care so much? The idea of world models altogether. It's basically based on if you just take how they are in the literature and then you know what I know about them actually not working that well. It basically takes it back from like these are good to I don't actually know whether the premise of this makes any bloody sense, and I sure as well am not going to like predicate my research on this odd direction that doesn't even seem like it's obviously a good idea when I have this other thing that I can work on that I know for sure is going to work, I know for sure is going to scale, and I know for sure I can make it another 10x better than it is now. And in the high data regime, I think my approach is fundamentally better. So, yeah, we'll see. The thing I don't know about world models is like you basically set up like a GAN type thing, right? Where you're trying to train a world model and your RL agent is trying to poke holes in your world model. So like if you have a perfect world model, it makes sense, sure. But it seems like you literally set it up to have compounding errors in the world model. How did Mingru do on Neural MMO3? Go check. This is the 6 GPU run that is fast but a little less sample efficient. This is the 1 GPU run that is slow and a little more sample efficient. They're both currently still above the Puffer 3.0 LSTM baseline. Cool. I think I probably just didn't integrate this correctly from Peru because it doesn't make sense to me the way it looks. Let me see how he did it. Where does num running threads get set? Why do you need threads in this application? Because we're running thousands of instances of simulators, and I'd like to not run them on one core. And we have this working in Python, but now I want to have a native C backend. Like when we're training our RL agents, right? Like we don't just run one instance of this. You think that it plays one game of Tetris at a time? No, we run like 8,000 games of this in parallel. And then we run them at like 10,000 times real-time speed as well. Like an unfathomable amount of data. Puffer very fast, yes. PufferLib is the fastest reinforcement learning library by like more than an order of magnitude. It's gonna get even bigger next update. Could be good. I can simply figure out why. I don't understand why he is not setting. Oh, wait. Huh? Each of these does an add. Open MP. Why would I use that? Oh, is this MPI? Nah, screw MPI. Or is this different? Why wouldn't I just use C threads though, man? Why would I like grab a library for what's gonna end up being 100 lines of code in native C? I can in halfway. Is this not your code? This is so Peru submitted a PR, and he submitted a PR to the Python env bindings, and I'm working on taking this and integrating it into the C native bindings. Automatic loop scheduling across threads. Cool, I don't want automatic scheduling. I want to do it manually and have, like, maximum perf. It's a very simple workload that needs to be optimized very well. And I still don't know why you would ever grab, like, a third-party library for something that you can do yourself as well or better in 100 lines. Also, I gotta check on client. Key threads are platform specific. You're not doing scientific computing on anything that's not Linux. College football. Said you won't be streaming tomorrow. No, I will be streaming. Tomorrow's what, Thursday? Yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow. Dude, I don't do stuff via, like... No, I want to understand how this works. Just because I'm, like, too tired to do this quickly doesn't mean I'm gonna go use a language model and then ship something I don't understand. Task sharing. It's literally embarrassingly parallel. It's literally, you just have a whole bunch of environments, and then you need to run, you know, different instances of them on different threads. That's it. It's a really easy task. It's really hard to implement this in Python. Like, so the Python vectorization I have is really complicated because every single synchronization primitive in Python is too high overhead to use. If you do it in C, it becomes a lot easier. I just am not used to this, is all. Because I never do anything with threads, because in Python, threads are useless. So I do everything with processes, so I have to, like, remap a couple things. Yeah. Yeah, Ryder, generally we kind of do minimal, like a minimal LLM usage around here. I pretty much use them as, like, fuzzy docs, and that's about it. So this adds... Okay, so this adds to it. I see. Work index vec size -1. Wake for work. On broadcast. So, okay, we broadcast awake. All done condition. We can use this to try to find out why it's happening, though, not to rewrite it. Hang on. I think that the synchronization is correct, though, looking at it. Race on work index. You're not setting num running threads. Yeah, it's fine, though. Smart LLM. Very good job, LLM. Look at this. I don't think you should need to do this, though. Right? Because, like, yeah, this is wrong. It's supposed to increment here. Num threads, yeah, it's supposed to increment here. I got dinner soon. If anybody knows, let me know. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and I'm gonna get my last deadlift set in, and then I'll take a few more minutes on this before dinner, and I'll also discuss a few other things that are gonna go on around here. FBR, the bot you wrote is better than random, but it's not even beating 1320 Stockfish. Counting draw by repetition early. That's funny. Gotta PR some things so your stuff gets checked. Otherwise, it's like, what? 2800 ELO bot? Yeah, sure. Okay. Now's a good time to mention for folks, because I gotta go in a few minutes. I don't think I'm doing an evening stream tonight. I'm either gonna do some client work or just crash. Been a heck of a few days. But yeah, all my stuff is free. It's open source right here. You can support the project for absolutely free by starting the repository to feed the puffer. You can join the Discord to get involved with dev. And you can follow me on X for all my content, including educational articles and more. Gemini 3 one-shot everything? Bullshit. Look, I don't even try the models anymore because, like, all the companies, they just lie constantly. And then you actually try the model and it's like, herp da derp da derp, but can't even make code that compiles. You know? How old are you? 28. Finished PhD little under 2 years ago. Threads less than equals 0. 2K. Comic fetch sub. Gotta finish masters. Best way to get involved is to literally just, like, if you're looking to learn RL, this is the best place. And if you follow this guide, you will be very capable in RL. If you actually go through and do what is advised here. It has some projects for you. It links you to, like, a large but very manageable number of references. It has a lower math requirement than any other resource on this topic. Does still take some work, though. And then if you're, I mean, for science in general, I've got this more general article. I don't know. Can I just stick breakpoints in threaded code? Is that a thing I can do? I think you can, actually, right? Oh, but I'm gonna have to do it from frickin' C++, which is annoying. I don't even know if that'll work through a DLL. Yeah, no, that doesn't work through a DLL. Well, I think that the next session I spend on this fresh, I'm going to just have to write a little test on it. I'll write a test in pure C. It'll be a lot easier. HPC, compilers, and math. Variant display. Cool enough. I mean, we mostly build high-perf sims around here and do RL. Play bet. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just go get dinner. I'm pretty much exhausted for today, so I'm just gonna check and make sure the client is happy with their deliverable from today. And then other than that, I think I'm gonna chill for the evening. And I'm gonna recharge and I'm gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna hammer out vectorization. We're gonna start hammering